A beautiful and positive Wednesday. Good morning to our viewers. I hope you're having a lovely and beautiful morning. I'm your host, Miriam Kaimba, and of course in studio I'm not alone. I'm joined by my handsome colleague, Patrick. Good morning, Patrick.
Good morning, Miriam.
My next question is, how is your positive Wednesday this morning?
Well, we are trying to keep up with the positive Wednesday, and it's paying off so far.
It is, right?
So, yeah, we ended the Monday like it's a Friday. Yeah, that gets to show it, to tell you that we are actually on course towards us having the positive energies throughout the days of the week, throughout the month, throughout the week. Regardless of the turbulences, we want to keep it positive and knowing that God above is watching over us and that with Him everything is possible.
Exactly. So this morning, our viewers, we have various issues that we're going to be looking at. Among them is the fire that we saw at CHISOKONE market in KITWE. Quite a sad situation. Just after, we have seen, the local authority taking up this action of removing street vendors from the street. And then now we have such situation. It's quite sad.
Yeah, interesting. We also had a spate of fires here in Lusaka.
Yeah, City Market.
At City Market, Soweto Market again. Yeah. So these are concerns because if we are going back to we were at the time where we were witnessing a lot of fire incidents
market especially.
Especially during the gutting of City Market. So when City Market was gutted, we had seen other markets also being gutted, and CHISOKONE should have been another market that was also on the list. And the gutting of CHISOKONE market has been also an issue that has been continuous. So we tend to wonder to say, what could be the lasting solution? I think overall, we heard the authorities there also issuing concerns to say people should not be sleeping in the markets. And so it's something that we need to pay attention to. But again, I think it also borders on trust. Right? Others feel their merchandise are not safe, so they would rather stay there. But also now that puts the goods of others at risk. But what about if others of ill motives of stealing from the others
from them, and then set up the fire to destroy evidence? Anyway, those are just
part of the assumptions.
Exactly.
And the likelihoods of that fire that we witnessed. So we'll be talking about these fires and also issues pertaining to vending. You, our dear viewers, can also give us an update or give us your perspective on these things we are looking at this morning. But before we go further into details, we have to go to have a look at the Health Corner with Dr. Nakubiana Mufaya. Stay tuned.
Hi, and welcome to the Health Corner here on the Breakfast Show. I am Dr. Nakubiana Mufaya. So this week we are talking about breast cancer, and yesterday we talked about some of the risk factors of breast cancer. We say that people who have breast cancer would have certain risk factors, and these risk factors include being able to start your periods very early before the age of 12, and also if you start your menopause late after the age of 55, you are increasing your risk of having breast cancer. Also, if people are exposed to radiation, they're also increasing their risk of breast cancer. Smoking and taking alcohol can also increase your risk of breast cancer, and even being obese and overweight and not exercising. So today I want to understand what are some of the signs and symptoms. How can you know that you are developing breast cancer or that you are having breast cancer? Or how can you be able to tell that these are some of the things that I'm experiencing that might likely be cancer? So one of the things is that you'll be able to notice a change or changes in your breast. So it can just be one breast or both breasts, but most of the times it's usually one breast. So you would find that one breast is bigger than the other breast, and sometimes you might even feel a lump or a mass inside the breast. So you might feel something inside the breast. And then other times you might also experience some changes in the skin on the breast. So you might see some discoloration or some changes that we call peel d'orange, which looks like an orange peel. So you might notice that the breast looks like an orange peel, and that's one of the signs that you might be having a breast cancer. The other thing is that you might notice a nipple discharge. So you might find that your nipples are producing a certain fluid. Most of the time it has some blood in it. So if you notice any kind of discharge in your breast, most of the times only on the affected breast or on one breast, and you would find that it has some blood inside. And so those are some of the risk factors that you need to look out for people who have breast cancer. So today we're talking about the signs and symptoms of breast cancer, and we've said that some of the signs and symptoms include having a difference in size of the breast, and so you would find that one breast is bigger than the other, and then you would be able to feel a mass or a lump inside the breast. The other thing is that you might see some discoloration on the breast. You can see sometimes it looks like an orange peel, which we call peel d'orange, and sometimes it just looks like a certain discoloration. So you should be able to look out for some of these signs. The other thing is that you might have a nipple discharge. It might be a bloody discharge most of the times. So these are some of the signs or some of the things that you need to look out for to be able to tell if you have breast cancer or not. If you notice any of these things, make sure that you go to the hospital to get checked, and make sure that you seek treatment early. And so tomorrow we'll be discussing how is a breast cancer diagnosed in the hospital, and what are some of the treatment options. What options do you have for treatment or for the treatment of breast cancer? So make sure you watch again tomorrow. We'll be talking about the diagnosis and treatment of breast cancer. I do hope you have learned something today, and if you have missed any other episodes, make sure you watch my YouTube channel, where you'll be able to find all the things that we talk about here on the Health Corner. Make sure that you stay healthy and stay blessed. I'll see you again tomorrow.
Quite interesting.
Yeah, there you have it. We continue to look at breast cancer. We continue to always emphasize on this topic on several occasions, because it is an important aspect. We understand there was a time when this campaign was prioritized in this country, where we're looking at breast cancer and how women can be safeguarded. And now at least we are making more progress, because there's a lot of commitment, there's a lot of awareness. People are more aware about the dangers of breast cancer, the causes, the symptoms and diagnosis of breast cancer. And what is important is continuous advocacy, so that people can be proactive in safeguarding their health, especially our women, because breast cancer affects women. But however, men also are affected by prostate cancer. Hence, it is important that you always go and check for prostate cancer by going for screening. So it is important that you get to know prostate cancer. If it is detected early, chances of treatment are high in terms of you getting better after treatment. And when you delay further, it becomes difficult for you to have full healing process.
Anyway, right about now, we go direct into our money market. So we have the United States dollar. They are buying at 18 kwacha 86 ngwe and selling at 19 kwacha 23 ngwe. We have the Great British Pound. They are buying at 24 kwacha 10 ngwe and selling at 24 kwacha 57 ngwe. We have the Euro. They are buying at 20 kwacha 70 ngwe and selling at 21 kwacha 11 ngwe. We have the South African Rand. They are buying at 1 kwacha 04 ngwe and selling at 1 kwacha 06 ngwe. That's our foreign exchange. for today, the 2nd of August 2023. Yeah, quite interesting, like on the selling part, huh? I think we're going toward 20.
Yeah, that's sad, and we hope to get things normalized. We're always optimistic, you know.
Anyway, we're staying positive because we have the positive vibe, so we want to be positive always. But anyway, just a reminder to our viewers that we have now officially opened our phone lines. You can take part in our conversation this morning, where we're looking at various issues, among them the fire that we saw at CHISOKONE market in Kitwe last night. Anyway, just zooming in some of the stories that made headlines yesterday in our main news. We did see a story from COMESA. Lusaka's COMESA market leadership has clarified that no demolition is taking place at the facility, but the area behind the COMESA secretariat. Anyway, let's get direct into playing the story, and we'll continue with our discussion when we come back.
Following its move to give a notice of demolition to some traders at Lusaka's Kawata market, the Lusaka City Council LCC has moved its attention to COMESA market with a notice that has taken over social media. According to the notice, the city authority will demolish about 236 structures at COMESA market. However, market representatives have denied that the demolition will take place in COMESA main market. Speaking Tuesday after engaging some council officials, the representatives told this reporter the area under question is outside the market behind COMESA secretariat.
But the issue here is we came here to a civic center to clarify, to make us clear, or to make people be clear. And we were clear to say that place which is being demolished is behind secretariat or at Zesco area, and not COMESA market, because COMESA market is on its own. Nobody pays, people don't pay any levies at COMESA market.
They have however accused the named individual of using the said letter, which shows that the council has revoked temporary trading permits to victimize traders in COMESA main market.
But tani mu Cross Border Traders Association uyu Kachingwe ali mu trustee, iyo trustee iyafumapo takweta amaka inena amaka ninkwata pali yena because nderusha pamyo shabantu mu COMESA ninkwata amaka yakubalandira ninkwata amaka yakubalirira.
Like corruption, this is why we have gone to court, and what brought us here at Civic Center was the letters which they are manipulating. We are from seeing the director of planning, who has continued refusing what Kachingwe is doing. He said the area that they have given the notice is not the COMESA market inside there. But him, Kachingwe, is getting the letters from Lusaka City Council, start using them and threatening. So we don't know where he gets these powers. We would like to know where he's getting these powers.
Meanwhile, traders who are pending eviction have appealed to government to reverse the decision to evict them from the trading area.
Kuna press committee kulisenda kwa nisungira bana nilibe mamuna ni kwanza peleka bana ku school ndiko wetu kwanza kusunga umoyo wa abantu bambili kwa mene kuno so tipempa chabe wa government watianga ndebo sipata kutu amene.
For now, less than 3 days remain before the council moves in to demolish the structures in a notice LCC Public Relations Manager Choda Mwamba has confirmed legitimate. For Camnet News, Afias Kaptula, Lusaka.
Thank you for staying with us. That's a story there pertaining to the COMESA market, and we are looking at some various issues. It has continued to be subject to debate. A lot of issues continue to emerge from that market. It's not that they are the only market we cover, but it's among the prominent ones that are continuing to give us these issues pertaining to Rangos.
Issues regarding to COMESA Rangos has been there since time immemorial, and I hope that at the end of it all, we can see a lasting solution, you know, a permanent solution being put in place. Yeah.
Exactly. That's what we hope for, that authorities who do put in place measures to help mitigate these once and for all. Now, we are also looking at interesting issues this morning pertaining to the fire incidents that we have recorded, especially involving markets. And this is a concern because we are seeing that a lot of markets are now being gutted. We saw Soweto Market earlier this week being gutted. Some shops were gutted, and you know, it's raising concerns because if we recall the episode of City Market. You know how it devastated so many people. And we also saw that a lot of markets across the country experienced the similar fate. Now, are we back to that same trajectory? In
2022 also we did see the new Kampala market in Ndola being gutted with fire as well. Again, you know, this leaves you question, you know. Some assumptions have been, given the fact that we have seen the removal of street vendors from the respective CBDs, others, maybe, I'm just saying, these are assumptions. Others would say, because we're coming to the market, so if we do this, in return, they won't say, no, go to these markets, because the markets are not there, but those are assumptions.
But another issue that has come up that is also unverified is that there's been an aspect of others who want to take over the shops of others, especially between the rival political parties, being the UPND and the PF. You'd also see that others would go deliberately burn the shops so that this person, by the time they are wondering, where is my shops, my goods, my everything, someone is already occupying that place. They put their own makeshift, because those are, most of them are temporary makeshift shops there. We see that this is also another trend that others use. They demolish, because if you recall, even at the time when the Lusaka City Council was removing some booths, you discover that when the booths were removed from the CBD, others were bringing their own booths. Now we're wondering, say, but isn't it the same place where where others were forbidden from trading? Then others just went there to do the same things that the authorities were trying to avoid. So if you look at that, there are some of the various issues that may be causing that. But what is important is that we want to hear authorities investigate these matters and bring them to a logical conclusion so that people get closure on these matters. And our dear viewers, in case you also want to join us, you can do so. Want to be interacting with you on the Camnet Breakfast Show so that you can get to update us. But let's also get to listen to this other story where a 31-year-old Joseph Sakala of Lusaka's John Howard has died after a building under construction collapsed on him in the mornings of Monday, 31st July 2023. One of the workers at the construction site, identified as Morgan Twambo, says it was the deceased's first day at work, and that he failed to make it out of time due to not being familiar with the construction site. Meanwhile, police spokesperson Ray Amonga has confirmed the development to Camnet News and says the deceased body has since been retrieved and deposited at the University Teaching Hospital mortuary, awaiting post-mortem. Let's get to listen to this story.
A life has been lost. Questions begging answers keep arising as to whether new structures being erected in the city are subjected to standard tests. A 31-year-old Joseph Sakala met his fate on Monday around 9 hours as he was doing a piecework at this construction site to have some cash in his pocket. A Camnet TV news crew that rushed to the scene on Tuesday morning found the rescue team still trying to locate his body, but was later retrieved at around 12:30 hours. Morgan Twambo, a survivor, narrates how it all happened.
So uyu penze lili pansi wanza kafuta baona changambika batamangira kuli chichoyuma eva nakonga kwamene chiyenda kuza kwamene mwampeza kukona kuza ndikwe chenze yenda chiputi. So ndiye mistake amene apezeka mzatu atisi tine kuza kumbali na mzanga wakaena ndiye nasichita nekashe kwanza kudeni na kumendo na kumsana.
Emmanuel Sakala, a relative who was at the scene to witness the retrieval of Joseph's body, explains how hard it is to lose a loved one in such a manner.
This to be a grief now. Though it has taken a bit of time, the progress was moving slowly. Sure. Thank God that we've managed to achieve the bottom. I think these are the things we follow later.
Meanwhile, Zambia Institute of Architects President Fidelis Kabwiri says preliminary investigations have revealed that the construction company did not engage the engineers to supervise the project.
And preliminary investigation so far has shown that yes, there were some consultants on the project, and we are also aware that the consultants were not engaged to do the supervision. And again, I think that points at why we are always emphasizing that whenever there's a construction project, we have consultants who are supervision at timely visits. We do not let the client do their own supervision. People are professionals in this field for one reason, because they have to ensure that the building comes out according to the quality that it was designed for. We have also noted that as we have come to site here, we are being welcomed by not engineers who are supposed to be explaining, and the site is still open for anyone to walk in and out.
Company representative, only identified as Mr. Mwamuli says the company will provide necessary support to the family and that the site will remain closed for a moment.
Yeah, it's quite unfortunate that we experienced this. So as a company, we have taken precaution to close the site, and then we have instituted investigations just to get to the bottom of what really happened, so that we don't experience a similar incident. Then we have been in touch with government officials, government agencies responsible for the construction industry, who have been engaging, we have been cooperating with them. They are doing their own investigations. We have pledged to cooperate with them. The police have been here. The fire brigade were quite helpful in the rescue operation. And then even the family, we have been talking to the family. We are trying to assist to lighten the burden.
While owners of the premises have refused to give a comment, police spokesperson Ray Hamonga has since confirmed the incident in a statement. Vincent Piri for Camnet News in Lusaka.
I love it. Quite a sad situation there. We do send our deepest condolences to the family. They are very sad, and we need to ensure that, you know, we have the engineers to come on site and ensure that, you know, adequate inspection is done before people we start receiving such calamities. It's very sad that a young man would lose his life in such a situation.
Yeah, I think it borders on safety. So safety at a workplace is important. Now, there are a lot of things that come into perspective, the issues pertaining to casualization there, Miriam Kemba. I doubt if this worker was engaged, or even on a small contract for 3 months, so that he can be able to gain something, or for example even being registered for workers' compensation. And I hope the company itself is complying with that provision of the law, and so that this worker can be compensated, you know. And you know, like for me, what is also sad is that it was coming for the first time at that facility. So like the day you are reporting for work is the day that you are meeting your fate. And you know, those guys were saying that probably lack of understanding of the building also affected his judgment, because as it was the building was collapsing, others moved to where it was a bit strong, so they were okay, and where the building was collapsing towards, so hoping to exit before it eventually falls down, but sad enough we couldn't make it out. And that's the tragedy there, if you notice. And it had to take it was in the evening, on the 31st of July, and now they had to wait up to the morning to start the rescue operations. Yeah, so if you look at
it's a lesson learned to those who are, you know, engaged in this construction work, that they need to take you know, due diligence when they are doing their works. so that we avoid such kind of losing of life in such a manner. It's very sad. You know, this was a young man who had a bright future and ahead of him, and then, you know, losing a life in such a situation is quite sad. Very painful death indeed.
It is, and we just hope that the family will be compensated and that they will be assisted, we can only wish the bereaved family condolences as they pass through the trying moment. But you too, dear viewers, in case you want to join us by giving us your perspective on this story we're looking at, you can do so and tell us your perspective pertaining to how these construction works are being undertaken. How should we uphold safety measures at construction sites? That is very important, because at the end of the day, we have to make sure that safety first before we do anything. Even in the mine, we continue to emphasize issues that border on safety. Because if you ignore safety, the repercussions can be there, and many people may be affected. And this it has to be taking us as a country to be proactive in prioritizing matters that border on safety.
Just a reminder to our viewers that this morning we are looking at a topic that is with regard to the continued incidents of fire at CHISOKONE market in Kitwe. What is your take there? Please do call us in and give us your contribution on our topic this morning. And those watching us live on Facebook, drop us a message and we'll be able, you know, to get interacted. Just moving on, Soko, we also did see a story where the Lusaka City Council cautioned some of council workers who are suspiciously collecting money from business owners despite them not being revenue collectors.
Interesting.
Interesting. Anyway, let's get to play that story.
We've noted with concern that some unscrupulous council workers are collecting revenue from business owners despite them not being revenue collectors. So this illegality has actually deprived the local authority of the much needed revenue that is supposed to go towards quality service delivery and of course council workers' salaries. So we are calling upon business owners to ensure that they always demand for receipts whenever they are making any payments of such kind. We also call on people involved in such illegalities to stop before the law visits them.
Okay, there you have it. That's a story where the council is just expressing concern on people getting revenue.
Yeah, the public relations officer there, Baluma Nyambe, says these illegal actions are targeted at local and foreign business owners running businesses without documentation from the local authority. He says the illegality is depriving the council of revenue intended for timely service delivery and payment of salaries, among others. He has since warned those championing the illegality of involving the available legal provisions and closing down businesses entities that are paying levies to non-authorized officers. The local authority has instituted investigations in the matter, and we hope that indeed they will come to a conclusion so that we don't see people now going out.
Let's have a look at another story, Miriam, where vendors were running amok in Kawe.
In Kawe.
So let's get to...
Anyway, you know what? Anyway, before we even go to play that story, I want to say that Lusaka, I think, were peaceful. Yes, I didn't see such kind of protest or battle between the street vendors and the police.
Could it be that the people of Lusaka are aware that of those previous tear gases?
No, I think they're peaceful.
Don't you think so?
We had Lusaka City Council.
Don't you think they are aware that there were slaps from the men and women in uniform from the defense?
But yesterday, I'm wondering.
Do you think they have learned from experience?
Anyway, just hold your thoughts.
Be peaceful.
Just hold your thoughts. I will respond to that. Anyway, business and taxi drivers in Kawe district of Central Province have fought running battles with police after being told to vacate the street. The driver, who feel agitated by the directive, marched to the Kawe Municipal Council to register their displeasure, arguing that there isn't enough parking space in bus stations. Now let's get direct into playing the story and we'll continue with our discussion. But Patrick, I still maintain, I think Lusaka were peaceful.
They're learning from experience.
Anyway, having lived in Lusaka for quite some time, I think for all my
just agree.
Anyway, let's play this story.
They assembled at the entrance of KITWE Municipal Council, chanting and singing to express displeasure with the council's move to relocate them to designated bus stations and markets. These are bus and taxi drivers and street vendors who want KITWE Municipal Council to ignore government's directive to remove them from the streets. Inside the council chamber, the mayor, town clerk, and district commissioner are discussing the matter with the bus and taxi drivers' leaders.
If we have shown you where you are supposed to go, and the space is there, and then we ask the taxi drivers to come with registered vehicles, I think then we'll have answered your issues.
The leaders of the taxi and bus drivers say there is inadequate space in the intracity bus station where they're supposed to relocate.
Because mufuna bus eraku big bite alama big buses are from Magondo some solution about station then alama buses are for big bite yes a station even for the station then alama buses are part of we join.
The district commissioner is not compromising on the government directive.
Wings of government that should do what they should do, and they show segregation. We start seeing them Kashireronga, Shirea Kumanusaka, no Kushirea Kumaserenji. They are on their own. Let's agree, all of us here.
The commotion outside led to running battles between the police, the vendors, and bus and taxi drivers. By 11 hours, the police were still trying to control the situation, while the street vendors were throwing stones and burning tires. Shupekile Nkunika for Zanis in KITWE.
Leave it to us, we will handle that one. Or you want to handle it on our behalf. So, are you sure? Be very real. Are you sure in here we can start discussing administrative issues? I think yours, leaders, yours is to make sure that if we have shown you where you are supposed to go and the space is there, and then we ask the taxi drivers to come with registered vehicles, I think then we'll have answered your issues.
That shouldn't be the case. No. That shouldn't.
It is what it is.
And you know,
it is how it is.
You know, every time I've noticed something, so I don't know if you have noticed that, but most of the people, you know, watching us would want to agree with me that every time we have seen that the government, even the previous administration, every time they talk about street vending, we see such incidents where markets are being gutted with fire.
Yeah, so again, those are serious concerns, and we hope that these things have to be addressed once and for all. And I think it borders on the authorities themselves. How proactive are they? What is the work of the council police?
Okay, but in the first place, okay, because we're told an incident at CHISOKONE market that happened the cause might have been because, you know, other people, these people will knock off later, and then someone by mistake left a brazier and something, an electric fault and stuff like that. My question is, why should someone be at the market that late?
Yeah, 21? So those are serious concerns, and we have to be making sure that these places are well guarded.
Yeah.
Security is porous, so if you look at it, anything can happen in an event that is the security is porous. So you can expect anything to happen. I think that's where the problem is there.
Quite sad. I feel sorry for the people who have, lost their merchandise in this calamity. It's sad, they now have to start off thinking about getting where they're going to get other revenues to, sad. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
You're through to the Camnet TV Breakfast Show. Who are we talking to this morning?
You're talking to Mr. Fomo from KITWE.
It's good to know that KITWE is watching us this morning. Please go ahead with your contribution, sir.
Vendors being around. Look at it, I mean, yes, on the previous things, but things are done in a way where there's no danger in the businesses of people. Without people are speak in the manner where people don't lose money and all that stuff. I think the thing is, look at these very interesting what is there, they are taking the state vendor. We struggle to come to go to Tanzania, go to Dubai, go to South Africa, go away to street vendors everywhere. You clean up your street vendors to achieve people gathering, own their properties. And to go to these other countries, you're taking the opinion street vendors, honestly. Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you very much for your contribution, sir. Interesting views there. We can continue to interact on the Camnet Breakfast Show. You can share with us your views. We were looking at a story pertaining to the street vendors in KITWE who were protesting, and also we saw the police there trying to disperse them. And the leaders of the marketeers and the drivers also were engaging the authorities. And it was a tense moment. If you look at it, it was convincing the people to say this is what the authority wants to do. And
but the sad part is that people understand and know that this is an illegality. Street vending is an illegality. But if they're going to be fighting those running battles with the police, what does it tell you? That they want the authority to agree with them that continue with their illegality. If the markets are already there, alternative designated places are already there for them to trade from. This raises concern about us, as individuals. What is it that we want to do for our country? Because we are just showing our ignorance at the end of the day. This is what, trust me, no one would want to agree with.
Exactly, you're right. So these are serious issues we need to be paying attention to. And we look at another story, Miriam, where we have Kawata Ward 6 Councillor Chishala Mwalia has disclosed that 16 shops around Kawata Community Hall are marked for demolition because the Lusaka City Council has leased the land for the development of a community hall. Mr. Walia says the council is doing so to create a revenue base for the Kawata community, and has assured that the alternative places have been identified for the relocating those who will be affected. So let's look at this story also.
Staged a protest demanding proper explanations from the local leadership why they've been asked to vacate the place they have regarded as a source of income for some time. On Friday, 28th July 2023, these traders were treated to an eviction notice from the Lusaka City Council asking them to vacate their premises on ground that their shops were illegally built on the said land. The traders, who doubt the legitimacy of the eviction notice on Friday, 28th July 2023 and Monday, 31st August, trooped to seek the audience of the city fathers, Lusaka City Council, to provide its stance on the issue, which has resulted in appointments. As the result, the traders are pleading with the local authorities to withdraw their decision to evict them before a solution is provided on the table.
tinkalira pali yamene business yakuti tiseremo bana manje bagwere bati chose tizaenda kuti tizaenda tikagone kuti nimwamene tijera mwamene umu nimwamene tisungira bana batu.
And so us here we are protesting. Instead of addressing us, you just passed because you know that you don't need us now, but we are the people who voted for you.
You yourself, you are benefiting, eating and doing something which is right according to yourself.
Others have accused the area councillor, Waria Chishala, of illegally championing their removal because he is benefiting from the investor that is intending to develop Kawata community. They also allege that he has U-turned on the matter when the council has been collecting levies from them.
For us, we are the one who put him where he is right now. Now him is enjoying, he can't even come and address us. Let him come and address us because he's been running away from us. He's been lying to people, to the council people that he addressed us about this issue. He's never called us. We are the ones who called him for a meeting, and in that meeting even walked away.
These shops you see here, not just the owners are benefiting from them. Look, all these people, all these guys that you see here, help get food from these shops. They benefit from here. Everyone, almost everyone, not just the owners. And you are confusing us already. Look at, we are confused. The business has dropped right now. And what you can imagine, before they've even demolished these, we are already confused. I must come and address us. We want to know the reason. Do you want to put a road? No, it's not even. That's not even the reason. So why not? Why do you want to chase us? We go where? Some of us, we've been to school, we've never worked in our lives, we don't have connections. We've applied to ZNS, to Zambia Army, everywhere. We've been chased there, now you want to come and chase us from here. Why? This is a sensitive matter you should come and address. You don't just give us notices to say you are evicting us on 7 days. For what? Why are you taking us to BH? And the issue of saying you are taking us to BH should look at the nature of the business. This is not a matter we are selling. For you to take us to BH.
But area councillor Waria Chishala discloses that 16 shops around Kawata Community Hall are marked for demolition because the Lusaka City Council has listed the land for the development of the community hall.
So those people are sitting in community hall premises, and the notice has been given so that the council civic center can develop the community hall for the benefit of the entire Kawata Ward 6. So facts on the ground are that place has not been sold. It has been leased out by civic center for development. Anything else, of course, my name is being mentioned. I'm the councillor. You expect these things. People will allege a lot of things. And I can assure that those who want to be relocated, the space is there. The only problem that's there is people just want to trade along the road.
Now Zulu for Camnet News, Lusaka.
Thank you for staying with us. You are still watching the Camnet Breakfast Show, Wednesday edition, Governance, Policy and Politics with me, Patrick Soko, and Miriam Kaimba. And we were looking at some of the stories making the headlines, and that story we have been following pertaining to Kawata Ward 6, where there's concerns pertaining to the purportedly anticipated demolition of shops, and the affected traders are concerned that that is the only source of livelihood. However, now the questions continue to emerge to say, where are these leaders when the people the people are building those shops and putting up these structures? What do they do? Why haven't they been proactive?
It's the same thing with Komesa Market. Eviction letters where they're saying 250 something shops are marked for demolition. But the question is, where were they all this time? If those structures were not supposed to be there, why let people build, use money to build, and you're just looking at them? Yeah. Yes, it's an illegality and saying, but tell them in advance so that they don't do that.
So we are learning something from here. Where what we are learning here, Miriam, is that proactivity is very important to avoid any anomalies or mistakes. Where, you know, when people are embarking, especially for public facilities such as markets, we have to be proactively monitoring them. So we cannot be leaving it to chance. We have to make sure that we are always proactive and making sure that we are able to advise people accordingly to avoid getting into situations, because bantu bamanga manje palasi ndipo mene mubwira ukamba ati no ni land ya community tifuna faka community what is to expand.
So communities, it is the communities that benefit the entire Kawata, but what muna waziletu ba
nikubawo that land don't encroach land is secured. So but you know bantu bamagona ba and wa council official bamene bacho kamba ba council baja bamdara baja around donjere ise vantu vatenga ndarama vameneswa kukanso. So probably winangu watenga ndarama siwa kukanso. When people say, okay, in fact, tilipirana kukanso. We have the right.
And the time you come to chase people out and say, no, we're evicting you. But we pay money to the council.
Okay.
So manje argument yavuta. Communication ifunika nkalapo so that, you know, people understand that this is the current situation. Not here from nowhere, boom.
So for now, we can only wait to see how they will be addressing this issue. It's a topical issue as well. We hope to see that the local authorities address. You know, I think now the Lusaka City Council has woken up from slumber.
Yeah.
I think that's what I can say. It's like wanagona maningi manje wagaring kombo wakambati no more sleeping. It's like nija mujuni uligona kutira manzi yozizira.
Enzo mujuni kwagona sufuna kuuka vimbata banget.
I think that's how local authorities are waking up. You know, because if you see if they were harboring illegalities all this while, but now they are realizing, because if they were proactive, we're not going to be seeing these issues.
We're not going to be seeing these issues.
Even nkanyama vendors yose mtown isembe yose si alipwa. But if vose vichitika because bamene bana bezo vile kerera.
And so foot bezotenga drama kuri
ma vendors. So at the end of the day, ni bebe bezo chita beti illegality. So Mr. Assist say anyway, it's okay. You can keep up. We want revenue.
And the sad part is that all of us tenga revenue when banalekerera abantu manje. You know, even in town you would go peza abantu bapika na kachaso mtown.
Wapanga kachaso bankala bena paja, what do you call that? To my highland.
Highland to a minute to
pamene paja nansima
wapikira panja pamene paja
to my shokazi, you know,
na kachaso bankala bantu 6 hours wafika 7 hours by time fika 8 hours ishwali kudala dizi mundu ali dizi mtown isitozufusa pati wabo mtown ngati dizi.
Imagine. So we had gone to extreme lawlessness.
But you know one thing I think I miss is to my songs that I used to hear from those guys.
No, today you are not dragging me into your songs. Your songs,
they're tempting, but you can still sing them, Madere.
Because they call them mano.
Madere.
Mamati. Ati mkwala ya maipu, mkwala wa mumara,
mkwala wa maipu, mkwala wa mumara. I think when you
mkwala wa chimuna, you know,
when you still go to Kamwala market, you still hear those megaphones, you know, shouting mkwala wa maipu and stuff like that. But you know, the good thing we had recently.
But that's also a tantamount to noise pollution.
Noise pollution, yes.
Yeah, you know, it's just too noisy, too destructive.
You can't even concentrate. By the time
you to pick a call for you to pick a call, you can't even disguise yourself.
By the time you talk CBD, unaruba na kudara mutu unasokoneza unazunguruka. You
are picking a call. Miriam, where are you? You want to say I'm at this hotel. Madele, alelo, Madele. Miriam, where is that? But now it's quiet, you know.
Yeah.
Things have changed. We are seeing that the environment has been is becoming conducive, but I see still a little bit of laxity from the local authority because we have seen that we have seen much. We have seen that there's no people vending. We have seen car vending.
Yeah, we have seen
because the
vehicles now are taking the places where traders used to be.
Yeah, so they are all over the CBD, and again it's untidy.
Yeah.
So they are parking all over. You can imagine all these fleet of buses parked along the stretch.
A lot of parking space in the CBD. I think that is one way the local authority should, you know, tap into that knowledge and say, okay, what strategy are we going to do to ensure that we collect more revenue? You know, put up a lot of parking space where they can be charging people.
Yeah, you are right. I think that's those are some of the things that we need to look at.
And again, the other issue is now that we have seen the removal of vendors from the CBD, we need to see our city clean. We have been calling and advocating for a Lusaka clean, for a Zambia clean, but are we seeing that this is the time now? There's no excuse. I think there's no excuse. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, dear viewers, those joining us, we are looking at a topic pertaining to the gutting of market. We have seen fire incidents involving markets, and the recent one as of last evening was CHISOKONE market, and CHISOKONE market has continued to be prone to these incidents. So now we're trying to get what could be the lasting solution to this problem. You two, our dear viewers, can give us your comment and contribution on the program so that we see how we can find a lasting solution to these issues pertaining to fire. Because what I know about fire is that it really deprives people in that it takes out a lot. If you look at the traders, the businesses, those people who are investing in those shops, that's their source of livelihood. So if we experience a fire incident, sometimes it tends to take away everything that you have invested for an over long period of time, and that is not conducive, and that's something that we need to be looking at. Because but again, it brings me to another interesting issue. No wonder we talk about issues bordering on insurance. But insurance, we know that insurance, in as much as people are beginning to appreciate the importance of value of insurance, I also have to bring it to your attention that not everyone endorses insurance, and especially for small order traders, it's difficult for them to subscribe to insurance. Others feel to say, what am I paying for this insurance, and besides, are they going to give me my money? And they are skeptical to say, probably I must be wasting my money, may not even have a calamity throughout the year, or even in a 5-year period, I may not have any accident, so I'll be paying this insurance company for free. But that is something that we need to be paying attention to. If markets or if the local authorities need to partner with insurance companies to make sure that probably as they levy the marketeers, for instance, they should be put in place a component of insurance so that when the market is gutted, we should be able to get relief through insurance firms. That would also help us, because but you know what we have seen with these markets is that most of the people have developed their own shops just outside the market. So you discover that sometimes the shops have no control of the local authority, and you just discover that the authorities are just controlling the middle part of the market, and those who are just surrounding the market are owning those shops at individual level. But as per regulation, it's something we need to be looking at when we're talking to market associations and those associations that represent vendors. How do we tend to look at issues that can safeguard the interest of our traders? We need to be thinking long term, because if we're to grow the economy, growing the economy requires us that we should also make sure that issues that border on insurance are safeguarded, because if we are going to be building an economy, it's collapsing, collapsing every time, then it's going to be difficult for us to develop, because we'll be doing the same things all over again. But if we are insured, it helps us, or it cushions us and provides that buffer where we are able to run to say, in this time of a calamity, we're not, as government, we're not spending anything.
And also just a reminder that we shouldn't forget that small-scale holders play a very huge role in contributing to the country's economy. So, like you said, there's need for them to insure their goods. In an event, they did insure, you know, like we had several individuals who insured, and then we have now this calamity which has happened. I don't think they'll be, you know, worried of where they're going to get their next resources to start building from.
Yes, you are right. The people will not be worried, but now they worry now because they have nowhere to start
from. And now, you know, the next thing will be Boma itandizireko.
And that's the story. Boma iranganepo. And there's nothing we can do, you know. Boma iranganepo. We see the DMMU. Boma yenda kulanganapo. But we need to we have to be looking forward thinking as a country, as a people, as individuals.
Exactly.
Yeah. So for me, I would advise you that car you want to buy, make sure you always have insurance for that.
The cars have always have
because
insurance.
Sometimes you can be those people who drive without insurance.
Cars are always have insurance.
They do have, but there are those who continue to take the risk. Always avoiding police officers. Always in conflict with police officers. So there's a gentleman I know of who is always in conflict with police officers because of insurance. So for me, my advice to him and others is that let's get insurance and make sure that we are protected and you know, at household level there's also property insurance to ensure that. So let's ensure that
we insure our property so that we avoid situation where when we are faced with a calamity, we have nowhere to start from. We are starting from the scratch. Where am I going to get the resources to start building my business from? You know, Boma and Anganilepo. Who am I going to get the money? And also, this is a very good way now that people should also take advantage of the constituency development funds. We can have 5 or 10 marketeers, you know, forming a cooperative and, you know, tapping in from the constituency development fund just to get something from there and see how they can, you know, help themselves revamp back. Yeah.
Interesting. So let's also look at this story where a 9-year-old girl of Lusaka's Challenge South has been turned into a nanny and is being forced to look after a 4-year-old boy living with a cerebral palsy. In an interview with Camnet News, a 9-year-old has explained that her mother's elder sister picked her and her elder brother from the village in Northern Province last year on the pretext that she wanted to take her to school. The girl explains that after coming to Lusaka, she and her elder brother were forced to start looking after her young mother's 3 children, including one with cerebral palsy. Meanwhile, grandmother to the girl says she has offered to take custody of the child, but that the young mother has refused. So let's look at this story.
Robbed of her childhood, this 9-year-old girl of Lusaka has been turned into a nanny and is being made to look after this 4-year-old boy living with cerebral palsy. According to the girl, her mother's young sister picked her and her elder brother from the village in Northern Province last year, where she assured that she was going to take the children to school once they came in Lusaka. She narrates that when they got in Lusaka, the story changed as she and her elder brother were forced to start taking care of the 4-year-old boy living with cerebral palsy as well as 2 other children whenever her mother goes for business.
Next year Monday, school. Ati you are now imonenda na yakutira ngutwarire ku school kuna ndati ati nomba ine kashi mumba kesha moko na afumine ati nomba niwe atumine ndalama.
The girl adds that due to the mistreatment, her elder brother ran away from home and went back to the village, leaving her behind to look after the sick boy alone. Her wish is to go back to school, and she has called on stakeholders to help withdraw her from the guardian and instead allow her to stay with her grandmother, who has offered to take her to school.
So you man ora mustashani?
Ndamusamba nakumulisha nakumfarikisha kuvala chense fweka kuliyo ndamuchitira.
Meanwhile, this reporter also spoke to the child's grandmother, who explains that she is willing to take the girl in custody and take her back to school, but that the young mother has kept on insisting that the girl continues to take care of her sick child as she has no one to look after him.
Firafine umfa abacha ipusha kwati mwana una mtola kufizo ena nomba na akalipa alefo kusenda abana bonse aye nabone kokine kukulukanga bwe uko bamukocha amanasha n'abalume so nali mwatuma kulukanga bwe kwali bamayanda atukwali botuma yando tukamkwikalamu nomba oyu nga musenda nishinisha ale musendera bantu kuli oyu muntu tatema abantu mebakuba atitangira so nishikumusendero kuti ayi mukushana omwana wamini wawera nishafuma mung'anda so mukaicho ndelomba chakwe bati uyu mwana nshale nankwe bantu kulataka kwate kunyite yakala chitarifa ikokuya ku school.
Meanwhile, this reporter engaged Child Justice in the matter, who has assured that it will take interest to see how best the child can be helped.
Government, we also appealing to all the stakeholders, the government especially, Department of Social Welfare, to be on the lookout and also make sure that for those that are perpetrators and those that are practicing such to be brought to book. And we also appealing for help, especially for the child who is being deeply affected, the 9-year-old child.
Meanwhile, the accused switched off a phone immediately after hearing that this reporter visited a home.
There is no response from the requested number. There is no response from the requested number.
The introduction of free education has seen an upsurge in the number of children enrolling in schools with the aim of attaining an education that will better their lives. But what will be of this young girl if she continues to take care of this sick child and like being in school? Prudence Chota, reporting for Camnet TV News.
Welcome back. There you have it. That's a sad story there involving a 9-year-old girl who is unable to go to school.
My question is, I think that is child negligence, first of all. Why would an adult in their right sense leave a 9-year-old child? She's not even a teenager, she's a minor. She's identified as a minor by government. Why would an adult leave her in custody of another child who has a condition? What if anything happens to that child that she's looking after? You know, she wouldn't even know whether I need to take this boy to the hospital, I need to do. Why would someone be that careless?
Yeah, it's really a sad state of affair.
And this is now cause for social welfare to come on board and ensure that they take custody of the child, because that's a form of abuse. At the end of the day,
you're right. That's a form of abuse, and we hope that the authorities will do the needful and safeguard the plight of a child.
Yep. Anyway, let's just take a short break. Patrick Soko, as we continue looking at the continued incident of fire at CHISOKONE market. Very sad situation. Let's just take a short break and we'll be right back.
Water is life. Each drop counts, and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. RenGlow, your smart irrigation partner.
Get all the latest updates in court news only on Camnet TV. We take you and make you feel part of the court sessions through our in-depth coverage of the adjudication process. Get informed on those who have been arrested, delayed and denied the police bond or bail victims, persons taking plea, court adjournments, verdicts, and those administration issues in the judiciary. Camnet TV is on channel 274 on DSTV, channel 25 on GoTV, and find us on channel 106 on Topstar. You can also follow and give us a like on our social media platforms. Camnet TV, not just another channel. Every Monday to Thursday afternoon, join us for the Lunchtime Cafe. We get to bring to you emerging stories making the headlines, media news, and we remind you of what political leaders and governance actors said back in the days in forgotten stories. We emphasize to you the importance of eating healthy foods and leading healthy lifestyles on the Nutrition Corner. Get the latest updates in sports and critical interviews. Because we value your contribution to national matters, we accord you an opportunity to share your perspectives during the viewers' reactions. The Camnet TV Lunchtime Cafe is an all-inclusive buffet. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
There you have it. Thank you for staying with us on the Camnet Breakfast Show. And interesting enough, we were looking at that story Mimi we talked about and about access to education. Not that it's free education. I don't think that child should be staying at home. She should be sent to school.
Yeah, that should not be an excuse that I don't have money. So I can say no, government has ensured that there's a free education policy and every child should be in school. And organizations like the Child Justice can also help provide the other essentials,
the books and the uniform.
Yeah.
I think the child should go to school and we shouldn't deprive the child. And interesting enough, as we were talking about the issues pertaining to vendors, we saw that we got some messages explaining that actually vendors, they do come back in the CBD, especially in the evening, around 17 to 18 hours, they go back in full swing.
Wow.
And you know, by the time, before you know it, they will not go back home, they will remain in the street. But for now, the strategy is that they are remaining, they are coming after, when the authorities go, they come to the street.
So at 18, and you know at 18, because it's a strategy, because people are now knocking off from work, others have a little of resources, so they take certain advantage.
Even yourselves, you want to buy just as you walk towards getting a
no, but you know, we shouldn't encourage, as consumers again, we shouldn't encourage that.
Yeah, but I remember last time you were among the major culprits of such a
I'm no longer taking part in the legality. I've learnt my lesson.
You have learnt your lessons.
Yes.
Now the government will be arresting the person buying and the person selling. So be careful. I'm just sending a warning so that you are taking precautions.
I guarantee you, I'm very careful.
Yeah, because but however, it also exposes that authorities go to sleep. I was asking you, what is the duty of the council police? What do they do?
All we see is once in a while getting things for vendors.
Especially when they go, I only see them when they go to confiscate liquor.
Yes.
Most of the time.
Most of these compounds, they go to confiscate liquor.
What are they policing?
I don't know.
I think if we have council police, I think they should be having night shifts.
But
you know, in the evening,
even just now, not even night shifts. Just now, if you go in town, are they there? Or the entire work has been left to the Zambia police, because those are the ones we're seeing in town.
Yeah, so that is a problem. So the council police, I think they also have to wake up. So next week we'll be naming and shaming those who are sleeping. So on this segment, our dear viewers, we have a segment, the name and shame, and where we say shame. And whom are you shaming?
Patrick Soko.
What have I done?
Posted today, so we are naming and shaming him.
Interesting. But that's what we'll be looking at.
Yeah.
We're talking about the name and shame. And we want people to name and shame those who are not doing the right things. Let's say if you are not working as the authority, or you are a company, you are doing things that are wrong, people will be at liberty to give us their feedback pertaining to what you are supposed to do. So the name and shame will be coming on the Breakfast Show next week, and we'll be making sure that you people who have concerns in your communities, if your member of parliament is not working, especially on a Monday and Tuesday, tell us. Name and shame them. Tell them what they are not doing right. Your councillor is not working. Name and shame them. Tell them what they are not doing right.
And I think, this will expose some of the things that have been left unattended to, because most of the times we intend to hear people complain on several occasions that we only see our area councillor, maybe our MP, only coming to us when it's during or near or towards the general election period, where they're now trying to solicit for a vote. Now you see them, coming to do one or two activities, but all this while, where were they? These are the questions that we'll be asking, and basically we want you to call us so that we name and shame them now. They start working now. We don't want to see them coming when it's toward the elections that no, this is when we are going to work. No.
Yeah, so we have the name and shame is to make us make sure that we are on our toes. We should be able to move. Even ourselves, we should be able to be held accountable. Everyone else should be held accountable. So people should name and shame those who are not doing their duties. Name and shame those who are not doing the right things. And that's something that we are looking at, especially next week. So we want our viewers to be telling us from wherever they are. And we'll also be using our WhatsApp number. So in case you want to also send us a voice note, you can send those voice notes and be able to tell us whom you are naming and shaming. So that will be very interesting and would want to hear from our dear viewers. And Miriam, before we go, we have to know that actually today the agriculture and commercial show has commenced, and that Community TV will be also part of this important event, in that we'll be providing coverage to the stands, and so that we get interacting with the exhibitors, and we'll make sure that we bring you all the highlights pertaining to the show society for this year. Interesting activities, and for those SMEs who should get in touch with our marketing department, or leave us a message on our Facebook page. We'll be able to attend to it, so that we'll give you flexible rates as we come to you during the show, agriculture and commercial show, and you'll be able to support our crew that will be visiting your stands. Just welcome us, and we'll be glad that we can do business with you as Camnet Television. So a lot of activities will be happening at the Show Society, and we'll be bringing most of the activities also live on the breakfast show, and also some of the stand coverage will be played during the breakfast show, the lunchtime cafe, and also in the evening we'll be giving you those updates on the from the show as events unfold. It will be providing regular updates so that we can just continue interacting and keep the momentum going. And the beauty about those who are going to start advertising with us is that when you start during the first of the show, we'll continue playing you up to the end of the show. So those are some of the incentives we have come up with, so that we can also maximize their potential and their business, so that people can know where you are found, so that people can visit you, so that people can know that where you are. So because the show also provides an opportunity where people get to know a lot of details, Miriam, in that the people know where they are educated about various organizations. For example, you go to various institutions that are key. For example, like the Electoral Commission of Zambia, you find them, they explain to you about how the electoral process goes. We have a lot of institutions that are instrumental. The Zambia Police, you can go and visit them and see and understand and interact with them and know how they operate, and also see the Public Relations Unit and get to interact with them regarding what is happening. So the Show Society, the show brings a lot of activities. We also have entertainment, Miriam, where you can expose your children to go and go to the jumping castles, go and watch the motorbikes, the bikers. They go and watch the
I want to eat that candy sweet.
The candy, but last time you failed to finish a candy, so I don't think you need that. And
last time it was my first time.
And I don't think you need that.
And I was so eager, I was looking forward to it.
You're just looking at it the way it looks fancy, but when you were eating it, you discovered it's something else. But
I liked it still.
But you liked it?
Yeah, I'm sure this time around.
Candy on me.
Oh, nice.
When we get to the show.
I think we're starting on a positive note, huh?
Yeah.
But one thing that you have not told our viewers, or rather, give emphasis to, is that our rates, our adverts rates are very good.
Yeah, for the Show Society, we have trimmed our rates, and we are giving flexible rates to the business community so that they are not restricted by our rates. So we are working with a flexible rates that is convenient for big businesses and those that are also convenient for small scale enterprises, to make sure that we have fairness across the board. And just because this is just a period of 7 days, it should be, so we should be able to be flexible enough to just give a space to our clients there.
Exactly. Interesting. Anyway, this is where we come to the end of our program this morning. We thank you, our viewers, for staying, with us through the end of our program, and those who are watching us live on Facebook, thank you so much. And those messages, and we were not able to read them through, but we thank you. We appreciate, for your time. But this is where we come to the end of our program this morning. I was your host, Miriam Kaimba, and Patrick Soko. It's bye-bye, and join us tomorrow the same time.